Today, I'm here to explain you all about the human eye. Now, let us look into the contents. Introduction to human eye anatomy, disorders of human eye, bionic eye. What does bionic eye consist of? Materials used in the bionic eye, working of a bionic eye, challenges and limitations, and conclusion. Let us know what is human eye. Basically, a human eye is a complex and a sensory organ which is a part of the sensory nervous system which reacts to the visible light and allows human to access or use the visible information for various purposes. Human eye is considered as a living optical device where the shape of the human eye is approximately in a spherical shape, and it consists of an inner and outer layer, and it is made up of several different parts such as a cornea, iris, lens, retina, and optic nerve. Each part of the eye has specific function. The cornea and lens helps to focus light onto the retina, which contains the cells called rods and cones that converts light into the electrical signals. These signals are sent to the brain via to the optical nerve where they are interpreted as images. Let us move on to the human eye anatomy. This is the diagram of a human eye. Human eye majorly consists of 6 major parts which helps in the working of a human eye, that are iris, cornea, pupil, lens, retina, and optic nerve. Iris, it is a colored layer of an eye. Cornea, it is a clear front layer of an eye which is in a dome shape. Lens, it is a clear inner layer of an eye. Retina, it is a light sensitive layer tissue which is present at the back of an eye. Optic nerve which transmits signal to the brain. Let's look on to the working of a human eye. When the light passes through cornea, some of the light enters on the eye through an opening called pupil, and next the light passes through the lens. The lens works together with cornea to focus light directly onto the retina. When the light hits onto the retina, some of a special cell called photoreceptors, which converts light into electrical signals, are formed. These electrical signals are sent to the brain via to an optic nerve, where the electrical signals are converted into images in the brain. Now let us look on to the parts and its functions of a human eye. Firstly, the cornea. Light enters through the cornea, the transparent outer covering of an eye. The eyeball is rounded, so the cornea acts as a lens. It bends or reflects the light. Aqueous humor. The fluid beneath the cornea has a composition similar to that of a blood plasma. The aqueous humor helps to shape the cornea and provide a nourishment to the eye. Iris and pupil. Light passes through the cornea and aqueous humor through an opening called the pupil. The size of a pupil is determined by the iris, the contractile ring that is associated with the eye color. So the pupil is dilated, that is gets bigger, more light enters to the eye. Lens. While most of the focusing of a light is done by a cornea, the lens allows the eye to focus on either near or on a distant object. Ciliary muscle surrounds the lens, relaxing to flatten to its image distant objects and contracting to thicken the lens to image close-up objects. Vitreous humor. A certain distance is required to focus the light. The vitreous humor is a transparent watery jelly that supports the eyes and allows for this distance. Going on to the retina and then optic nerve. The coating of an interior back of an eye is called retina. When light strikes the retina, two types of cells are activated. Rods detects the light and darks and helps form images under a dim condition. Cones are responsible for color vision. There are 3 types of cones are called red, green, and blue, but each detects a range of wavelength and not this specific color. When you focus clearly on an object, the light strikes a region called fovea. A fovea is packed with cones and allows sharp vision. Rods outside the fovea are largely responsible for peripheral visions. Rods and cones convert light into an electrical signals that is carried from an optic nerve to the brain. The brain translates nerve impulses to form an image. Three-dimensional information comes from comparing a difference between the images formed by the eye. Now let us move on to the disorders of a human eye. The most common refractive errors that are found in the millions of people are myopia, hyperopia, astigmatism, and cataracts. Myopia is also known as a nearsightedness, which is opposite to the hyperopia, which occurs when the light entering the eye is focused in front of retina instead of focusing it in directly, which causes the blurred distance vision, which can be corrected by using eyeglasses or a contact lenses. Hyperopia is also known as a farsightedness, occurs when the light entering the eye is focused behind the retina, causing a blurry close-up vision. Astigmatism is a condition where the cornea is not perfectly round, causing a distorted vision at all the distances. Cataracts occurs when the natural lens of an eye becomes cloudy, leading to a decreased vision. These disorders can be caused by a variety of factors, including genetics, age, and environmental factors such as excessive screen time or exposure to UV radiations. Treatment options vary depending on these disorders and its severity, but may include a corrective lenses, surgery, or medication. It's important to have a regular eye exam to detect and treat these disorders early on, as they can significantly impact quality of life if it leads to untreated. Now let's look on to the bionic eye. Let us see what a bionic eye consists of. Basically, a bionic eye system will consist of external and implant parts. External parts are small digital camera, external processor, transmitter antenna. Implant parts are receivers, electronic case, implant with a microchip, stimulating electrodes, surgical placed in a back of a eye. Moving on, the bionic eye is not the same thing as a prosthetic eye. Prosthetic eyes, also called as a glass eyes or artificial eyes, replaces the physical structure and appearance of an eye that must be removed due to a trauma, pain, disfigurement, or diseases. Bionic eye implements, on the other hand, works inside the existence of a eye structure or in the brain. They are designed to achieve a functional vision goals as opposed to physical, cosmetic ones. The process of sight begins when the light enters the eye. The cornea and the lens focus the light onto the retina at the back of the eye. The light sensitive cell in the retina then converts the focused light into the electrical energy, which is transported to the brain via the optic nerve. Moving on to materials used in the bionic eye. The bionic eye is a complex piece of technology that requires several instructions to function properly. One of the key instructions used is the retinal implant, which is surgically implanted into the eye and serves as the interface between the eye and the brain. The implant contains an array of electrodes that stimulates the remaining healthy cells in the retina, allowing the brain to perceive visual information. Another important instruction used in the bionic eye technology is external camera, which captures the visual information and sends to the retinal impact. The camera system can be mounted on the pair of glasses or worn by the body, depending on the specific design of a bionic eye. The camera system is also responsible for tracking the eye movements, allowing the implant to adjust its stimulation pattern accordingly. Let's move on to the working of a bionic eye. In working of a bionic eye mainly consists of a digital camera, video processing microchip, radio transmitter, radio receiver, retinal implant. Let us know how the bionic eye implant works. Firstly, the camera captures the image and sends the information to the microprocessor. The microprocessor converts the data into an electrical signal and transmits it to a receiver. So receiver sends the signal through a tiny cable to an electrode panel implanted by a doctors on the bank wall of the eye. So retinal A retinal implant emits a pulse which travels through the optical nerve to the brain. The brain receives pattern of light darken which corresponds the electrons simulated on the retinal implant. Challenges and limitations of a bionic eye. Despite the incredible advancements in a bionic eye technology, there are still several challenges and limitations that need to be addressed. One of the main challenges is creating a device that can mimic the complexity and precision of a human eye. While current bionic eye can restore some level of vision, they are not yet able to replicate a natural vision. Another limitation is the size of a device. The bionic eye are currently quite larger and bulky, making them uncomfortable for patients to wear. Additionally, they require a lot of power, which can limit their battery level. However, researchers are actively working on developing a smaller, more efficient devices and that can be implemented directly into the eye. Moving on to the conclusion. In conclusion, we have explored the fascinating world of a human eye and the revolutionary technology of a bionic eye. We have learned about the anatomy and function of an eye and common eye disorders and benefits and limitations of a bionic eye technology. As we look to the future, it is clear that the possibilities for enhancing our vision are endless. The development of a bionic eye technology represents a major breakthrough in the field of vision prospectic and has a potential to transform the lives of millions of people around the world. It is an exciting time to be alive, and we can't wait to see what the future holds. Hope it was informative, and thank you.